Hey everyone, today I'll be reviewing this Bionicle Speeder that I made. I really had no idea I was going to make this, but then a few days ago I just started putting things together and realized I wanted to make a speeder, so I'm very glad with how it turned out since no planning whatsoever went into this build. This vehicle is a lot bigger than it appears. It's about 18 inches long. That's definitely the biggest Bionicle vehicle that I've built. I really like how it turned out. I'm going to go ahead and take the little guy off just because there's some details under him that I'd like to show. The whole area where the pilot sits is pretty nice. It's not probably that comfortable because it looks like everything is metal, but of course it's a robot piloting this, so I doubt he cares about the comfort. I tried to make this look kind of old and a little bit rusty and like it's not really taken care of very well. This is obviously inspired off of Star Wars and just, sci-fi in general, but probably mainly Star Wars because this does kind of look like a sand speeder from Tatooine in a way. I have the dual engine, like jet engine design on each side, and then this is kind of seen as a big engine, which is kind of redundant. Why would you need these two and an engine? But that's probably just like a generator or something. But I just wanted to put a bunch of mechanical details. Doesn't exactly make sense why I would have an engine and jets, but if you just see that as a generator to generate power for the jets, then it all works out just fine. And this is the exhaust setup right here. It's probably a very loud vehicle. There's not really that many interesting details under. You can just see some of the ugly blue Technics showing through and just kind of some of the designs. This whole thing is built off of one long Technic beam, or I think it's actually two that stretch the whole length, and then those are just covered in Technics to make it stable. It still kind of feels like it might break if you pick it up at both sides because it's very heavy, and you can kind of see a flex whenever I pick it up. But I don't really think that's bad. As long as you pick it up in the middle, it won't flex anything. I probably should have reinforced the frame a little bit more, but I didn't know how much weight I was going to be adding. That's just something that you can't really know until it's completed. And if I wanted to, I probably could take it apart and reinforce it, but I don't really want to risk not remembering how to put it back together. The jet assemblies can be pushed down on either side. You can see that as either the flying stance or that you just pull those down for maintenance. I don't like pulling those down, though, because it reveals a lot of ugly colors. The reason I didn't cover most of those is because if I had, then it would have limited how far the jets would have been able to go up. They probably would have been able to go up about this far, and I like it for them to be closed up a little more. You can also vary the angle that the jets go out. You can pull them in. I think that's the farthest they'll go. But I've been keeping them about right there. That way the rider has a little more space, because I imagine these jets get pretty hot. The other side looks basically the same, as you can see. I like all of the outside details also, so that's why I kind of like to close up the jets. I really like this side. I don't know why. I think it just looks better than this side, personally, because both sides are kind of vastly different in a way, and they're not too different, but I do prefer the other side. You can kind of see these as heads of like a V8, but it doesn't really look like a V8 necessarily. And one of my brothers, when they saw it, they're like, I like the V8, but that's not exactly what I was intending for it to look like. I do think it should look more like a generator, because that's most likely what it would be on a speeder like this. I really like this big mechanical tube that runs the length of the generator section. I needed to fill space whenever I was building this, and so I just decided to make a long mechanical tube, and that filled the space quite nicely. It looks like this engine is a little older than this one over here, or I mean the jet over here looks a little older because it's all rusty. This one's probably newly replaced. The control setup is fairly simple. There's 3 buttons, one right there, one in the middle, and then one all the way over here. The control setup, I guess for the throttle, I guess you would twist it kind of like a dirt bike, and maybe you pull the other one back for the brake. Maybe this doesn't really have a brake. It doesn't look too safe as it is. I probably should have included a control stick over here or something for a brake maybe, but I guess I can always make some modifications. Real quick, if you're interested in the MOC, I made this little guy a long time ago. I painted Bulk 1.0/4.0's helmet dark green, and then I put some black highlights, a black wash over it, and I put some glue to seal it all. And so far it hasn't chipped. That little silver speck you see right there and there, that's just because I missed a spot somehow. I don't know how I missed it, but so far it hasn't chipped. The underside is not sealed with glue, and so I expect it to probably chip a little bit if I rub the inside of it too much. But yeah, I just painted that piece, and it kind of matches the standard dark green. It just has a little darker of a color because of the black washes that I put over it. Now that you've seen the control area, I can put him back on his ride. He fits pretty well. Sometimes you have to adjust the way he is sitting just because it is sometimes hard. I didn't necessarily fit this seat area for him, but he fits a little better than most of the other MOCs that I tried to put there. I am planning to build other vehicles because I really enjoyed building this. It was really fun. It was long. It was a long experience. Over 2 days, maybe 2.5, I built this, and it took about 8 hours. So it was fun, but it was a long experience. I might enjoy this more than actual character MOCs. I might be better at building vehicles than characters. I don't know. You tell me. I'll put 2 of my MOCs, my more recent MOCs, up next to this. And which do you think are cooler? Or which do you think is cooler, the vehicle or the MOCs? I guess I probably need to let you see their heads. So tell me in the comments, which do you think is cooler, and which would you rather me make more of, the character MOCs or the vehicles? That's really all I have to say about the speeder. As always, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe and check out some of my other videos.